Good morning, Ines.
Good morning, Thor. Always so nice to see you.
Lovely to see you as well as
Thank
usual. This
you.
is like
Thank
my
you.
favorite hour of the month and of the week, I
Me
mean, I
too.
suppose.
Me too. Chew the fat. Yes. Sort out the world. Which actually, I didn't realize, but last night I heard that in Germany they're having elections and
Are
Mama
they?
Merkel is stepping down. Yeah, in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mama Merkel.
Yeah.
This is not disrespectful. That is what she's known as.
Yeah.
Has decided not to run again after 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't know that, but I think there's been a coalition that's she's been running for the last 4 years. That means four parties.
Mm.
And the commentator, now this is a Brit, of course, and they were all these different parties, political parties with different viewpoints and different genders, were so nice to each other. And our commentator said, of course, they can't be anything but nice to each other on television because my God, what's that is my turn, mine, no, I don't agree with you. Can you imagine? But
Yeah, I mean, well,
it,
that's what they've got in Norway. They got coalition
four,
governments in Norway. Yeah.
yeah, but four party.
Yeah. I think it's about four.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I think it's not a bad idea. It's
Yeah.
not just one voice, one view. Yeah,
Yeah. I think like collaboration is important though, right? And like
yes, I do.
working
Yeah, I
working with
do
people
too.
that are different to yourself. I think it's either three or four. I can't remember exactly how many it is. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So I
Um
didn't realize that we're opening coal mines again. What?
yeah.
And we're supposed to go nuclear. We're not supposed to use power. We're supposed to freeze our butts off at home because electricity and gas is so expensive.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
But you know who uses a lot of coal? It's Germany. I'm not talking about China, but just to be close to home. I didn't realize they sort of the backbone of their economy is coal.
Is it?
Yeah, but then they point the fingers at us.
I didn't know that.
Why? It's not fair. Anybody else listening? Do you think it's fair? No.
Well, I think nobody should be using coal regardless, right? So
Exactly. That's
yeah.
right. We have different technology now. And
Yeah.
they said, apparently, whoever spoke on this coal business said, there's not enough wind in Europe. And our commentator he was broadcasting from one of their buildings, and there was wind, hurricane wind all around him. And he said we were clutching our microphones and everything else because there's no wind in Europe, not enough wind in Europe. And he said the rain was lashing down and everything. So
That's
uh,
quite funny, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose
yeah.
that makes good news, doesn't it? If somebody says there's no winds and then you decide to stand on a building and
What
it's like
did you
wind.
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
As
that
he's
does
blown
make
away, spiraled up in a hurricane. Slurp.
yeah, that does make good telly, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
We're
Anyway.
continuing what theme are we continuing on this week, Ines?
Well, the thing, I hope you agree that in Spiritual Link, I mean, what we're always talking about and the work that you're doing outside of our spiritual link, what we're trying to do, we're endeavoring to open the doors to a deeper understanding of life, of course, which makes, your life, whoever's listening, of course, and to allow the spiritual world to become part of your world. Why? What difference would it make? Helps us to cope, helps us to maybe take the mickey out of something that we see, read, that sort of thing. The meditation is the big word, integration of the spirit, the mind, and the body. All things come together in that area of calming and opening the doors to welcome that which is all around us, which is not only spirit, the world of spirit, but also the world of communication, which binds us all. All of us, that means all of the animals, all of us, anything that has life binds us. And that even includes going back a few years, tree hugging Prince Charles. He was really hauled over the coals when he said, I talk to my plants. Oh, the poor guy had a really hard time. Now, of course, we all talk to the plants and we all hug a tree. And we all say, oh, this is so wonderful. So anyway, that is communication. But the tree, we're getting to flower clacendians. A tree is a big grass. It's just a bit of grass, just a bigger bit. So if you're hugging a tree, you can actually feel, oh, a bird has landed, little fox's tail has brushed, or a woodpecker has dug its little hole as a home. All of those things are actually registered in the aura of the tree as well. So communication, it just completes us. Isn't it nice to be part of the flower in the meadow, the trees, and other people's thoughts, which of course can be intrusive, but we can protect ourselves. That's why meditation as well means protecting ourselves from taking on the heartaches and the hardships of other people's minds. We don't need that. We mustn't take it on. If we are able to step back, that means we can help easier than be emotionally involved. That's all. Anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. But the spirit, the power of spirit, color. The physical, we are color. And the aura, which is around us, is the reflection of the bodily functions. And because of that, Thor and I are briefly going to touch on color again, because he's also color healer. He's a crystal healer. He's many other things. But to define it, we will say that. Touch on color again, as color formulates so much within the body, not only as a powerful weapon, but also it is a very powerful protector in the sense of illnesses, and very importantly, also our thought patterns, which can go down that proverbial rabbit hole. So when our mind is heavy, overburdened, and depressive, by instilling color or bringing color forward in our surroundings, for example, what we wear, what we eat, you are telling your thoughts to amalgamate that thought with color, which you can inhale and can be accepted, as I said, in your environment, clothing, and so on, in what you're eating as well. We have mentioned this before. Now, if you are telling your mind to amalgamate that color with your thoughts of depression, anxiety, heartache, it will lift our thoughts. I have repeated myself. It will lift our thoughts. It is that powerful. It is a protector and it is a weapon. We're talking about the concentrative effort, where we are once more concentrating on imbibing, breathing, and so on, to bring the color into the bodily functions and to bring it into the mind as well. Well, you have to make up your mind. I am imbibing. The mind says you're breathing in color into the mind. Never to forget that our mind is where everything is controlled from. The colors move into the body are the direct colors, the 7 known colors, the colors of the rainbow, not the meddled ones, which means then they become puce and everything else. But with color healing, it is the direct ones. So we only use the 7 colors, which are the totality of the sun, as I just said, which is the total power of everything, of all things here now in our little universe, the earth, the sun. The medical profession have found that there is a natural tendency for the body and mind to imbibe color. It's automatic. Colors affect the mind, affect the way the mind works for the body, the way the mind sees, and the way the mind recognizes and responds to fear. And just on a very quick sort of situation, when we have airplanes, which we're getting to know again, and you have the color scheming, so there you are sitting and looking at, like most of us, looking at the back of somebody else's chair. What colors are they? They tend to be sort of a gray, a red, a blue, aren't they, Thor? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Long since I've flown.
Yeah.
But there's that color.
Yeah.
Now that color maybe came from Norway. And that color scheme is in Qantas flying from China.
Mm.
It has to have the same calming effect for the Oriental population as it does for the European population. It means there is a universal form of color acceptance. Has to be. Now, music and crystals all have their own particular power. We're not moving into that. It's not better than, less than. It's all part of. But we're always breaking everything down for easier comprehension. And it also makes it easier for you to question or to accept or not to accept. Now, sorry, in the notes, some practical applications are, as an example, now, if we're anxious, fearful, depressed, you would select a blue, a pink, or a red. But would be a muted red would be important. To have a total redness, the power of the red, if there was a mind problem, would probably accelerate that problem. So we have to be very careful. Because they're colors and you're not injecting or taking a tablet, doesn't mean that it is less powerful. It can have very detrimental effects on the mind, how we react to life. We can become suicidal. I'm talking about extremes. So color is very, very important. Also, the choice of colors are individual according to your guidance, and what we offer are colors and applications as we are guided. So this is an example. The color of blue is the throat chakra, throat and upper chest, but it can also cover many other areas. It's really interesting, and in many other areas of the body, which would result in a general feeling of lassitude, general feeling of being down. And this is one of the reasons why the color blue is sometimes in short supply, because people become tired. The other effect that it has, although not in that throat area, it has an effect on the colon, the bowels, and the body clock, thyroid. And the blue can also be used in the cases of diarrhea, which is another region, bowels, and so on. Now, colors work together. So what we're giving is not just a blue, you stick with blue. They move together. If you have colon problems, that means there's something wrong. So it means there's a lack of blue. What you would do, you strengthen the blue, and I'm getting to that. Blue is a calming color. It can control our thoughts, soothe our attitude of mind. So if the color blue is low, and we have depressive thoughts and so on, we can reinstate that color. But, with all applications, always give a brighter or lower situation, depending, of another color as well, in order to balance everything out. In this case, perhaps pink. If you're only blue, you're going to get down in the dumps again. Something bright, blue, pink, maybe yellow. What comes in you? Nice green, whatever. Blue also helps the voice if it loses its potency. Red, the color of red, sometimes has the affliction of blood pressure. Now, we mentioned red and blue at the beginning for depression and so on, blah, blah, blah. And why was red also included? Our blood pressure can go up or down. We are depressed, anxious, and all of these other heavy feelings within our mind. Adrenaline is created in certain glands within the body, and the red would stimulate these glands and bring forward the power of expectations. Yoo-hoo, yes, 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 good expectations, right? With red, you get a warm, heavy, relaxing feeling within you, which takes away all the weakness. Yes, so nice. It's a duvet effect, because it not only brings forward the power of the base chakra, the kundalini, but would also bring forward adrenaline to the body, which is the motivational force. I can, I will. Anybody listening, you can, you will. The red would also include include the legs as well. There's so much more to this, trust me. Color can be placed around the individual when giving healing, placed on certain areas, parts of the body, and it can be strengthened through color therapy. And of course, the strength of the healer who is sending, directing, and allowing their own strength to move through their hands around or about or on top of the body of the recipient. Just one more important and interesting thing maybe. Within the body, there are salt crystals, which usually congregate around the big gout, in other words. These salt crystals are produced in the body, which become a form of poison. The poison is the crystal itself. The salt can be separated by the color of red and then be eliminated through the natural functions of the body. Red breaks down the crystals and eliminates the salt, which has formulated into little nodules. They're almost invisible, but nevertheless they are there. Now these nodules, if you're doing reflexology, can actually be felt. The nodules can create a feeling of heaviness in the body, and can also be the instigators of illness. Just because you're big toe and it's okay, it is not okay, because it can also instigate illnesses. These are the nodules, feels, as I just said, within reflexology. The nodules at the bottom of the feet are nerve endings, and the crystals that are produced are collected there. Ouch, ouch. So just to get off of my bandwagon, color is very, very important. And it's also interesting. We only cover 2 colors. What has been given today is not complete, naturally. Any questions? Don't hesitate. Or perhaps to focus on some other colors and other difficulties that you might have. So I'm going to step down from my soapbox, Thor, and let the love of the universe that is shining on you bring forward some wisdom. I have gone on and on, and I've
the sun suddenly, well, the clouds that were covering the sun suddenly decided to move, and I didn't arrange my curtain beforehand. Anyway, I think that is incredibly useful because, as we are well aware of, a lot of people are suffering with anxiety, with worry about the future, with uncertainty. I mean, all over the world. And I think the beauty of this, that is just, it's the only cost is time and effort. It's all it costs because it's completely free. It's like that thing with breathing in color, right?
That's right.
God, I was doing it whilst you were talking because I'm like, my brain needs a bit of soothing. So yeah, exactly. It's completely free and you can concentrate on doing that. And all it takes is time and effort.
It does work. Absolutely. I mean, the last time we mentioned colors, again, you know, if we look at the color assortment in hospitals or other public places, you can get so depressed. Let's say you're in a hall of some sort, which is a communal hall. What do they have? Magnolia walls. It looks horrific.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do I want to be here? It already makes me feel depressed.
Yeah.
It's a nothingness.
It's a nothingness.
But also, your color. Do you put your colored water? You know, we're supposed to drink.
I do that. Yeah, for sure.
You put it on a bit of colored paper. I do too. And what happens, of course, the water draws in that color, would you believe? It doesn't become pink or yellow color, but it draws in the essence of that color. It does, yeah.
That would have been fantastic, isn't it? If you put your water on a piece of paper and it actually changed color.
Yes,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, like the 10 loaves or 1 loaf of bread. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's really useful and practical, Ines, because I'm not sure if people are aware of the expansiveness in color and that we are color, and meditation brings all of that together.
It does.
And it's just time and effort, and that's all it is.
Do you know what I was thinking of this morning, Thor? I'm doing some online learning.
Yeah.
And life is like online learning. You know, there's somebody produced it, and we don't know who's pulling our strings. Either we call it God or we call it whatever it happens to be. It doesn't matter, but we don't actually know for sure. And online learning is like that. Then we take an exam, failed, woo, try again. Or, yoo-hoo, you got 100. Next page, oh my God, it's just as long as the first one, you know.
That's so funny. Yeah, you never know what's coming. That's fun. That's a great analogy, Ines. So, what is the wise wisdom that you want to end on this week?
Kindness is next to wisdom.
Exactly. Kindness is next to wisdom. I totally agree.
And usually the kindness that unfortunately we don't hear enough about in the news around the world are unselfish things that individuals do for others.
Yeah.
You may not even know them, or maybe you do, but people go out of their way just for a minute of time, or just, I don't know, just to help them, which is wonderful.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for another session, another podcast, Ines. I really enjoy that.
You too.
If anyone has any questions or comments, just send them across, and we will respond to your questions. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. But so I just want to mention, Gib, that you are crystal healer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the crystals would amalgamate, they would enhance the color healing that you automatically give as well.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants some healing, I believe you also tarot reader, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get in touch.
Yeah, please do.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.